What incredible events we've beheld the last day or so. As we begin to structure our thoughts about what's been going on, the complete insanity that continues to go on, I'd like to turn with us to Matthew chapter 12. And we're going to read, picking up in verse 24, Jesus has cast demons out of this man. And when the Pharisees heard it, they said, "This fellow does not cast out demons except by Beelzebub, the ruler of the demons." But Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. If Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then will his kingdom stand?" How then will his kingdom stand? You see, the kingdom of Newproject2 stands divided. It stands broken. It stands lost. You know, it will not survive. The snake pit that is Newproject2, all of them slithering all over each other, desperate to somehow slime their way up to the top of the greasy snake pole, where they might rest for a mere moment before being dragged down by one of the other snakes into complete and utter oblivion. I wouldn't want to be those guys. Listen, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For a tree is known by its fruit. A tree is known by its fruit. What do we see being produced by people like Dick Masterson, people like Jim, people in this Newproject2 cabal, Ethan, Ralph, Gator, Flamenco, Augie, these people? Do we see any sort of good content from them? Anything that's actually entertaining or insightful or educational or anything even at all that's worthwhile listening to? We don't. Do we see that these people have great, happy, successful lives? We don't. We see that their lives are nightmares of dependency and crime and just complete degeneracy. And you know a tree by its fruit, and you can see that they're not having a good time, that their lives are terrible, and you don't want to be like them, because verse 34, "Brood of vipers, how can you being evil speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. I bring forth good treasure to the people, good kino and nectar. They bring forth to you evil treasure of grifting, e-bagging, scams, collusion, lies, gay ops, mafia operations, blackmail, extortion, sweeping it up, Janny material. This is what they bring to you, folks. But the house is now divided. It stands divided and it cannot stand. And we'll tell you exactly what's happened as we start to break this down. This is Dick. Once again, I have been deplatformed by a merchant service provider. No reason was given like usual. This is how difficult it is to simply stay in business as a free speech advocate. Now, if you refer back to my conversation yesterday, it was revealed that it was not a free speech platform. Josh admits it, Dick admits it, everybody admits it. It's not a free speech alternative platform. It's a platform for Dick's fucking friends. Newproject2's payments processing is currently on hold. I'm working to get it up again as fast as I can. So, ladies and gentlemen, none of them are getting paid. Nobody in the Newproject2 cabal is getting their bribes, their take this month. He has one day to fix it. I think he has today. He might have Monday, and then it's June 1st. And then nobody's getting paid. Jim's not getting paid. Ricketa's not getting paid. Ralph's not getting paid. You know, Josh isn't going to get paid. The mighty $2,000 of Josh, the $700 of Jim, none of these people are getting paid. And they're all looking to point fingers of blame and say, it's your fault that the processor went down. Ralph, Well, Josh, it's your fault. You're a pedophile, Josh, and it's your fault that the processor went down. It's your fault. Dick's like, PPP called my bank. He brigaded my bank, and him and his thousands of autists destroyed my bank. You know, this is what they're fucking saying. You know? Oh my God, it's all PPP's fault. He single-handedly ran this gay op on us and orchestrated the banks to close. Can you imagine believing that I have the influence to close the bank? You know? Josh is blaming Ralph, saying they need to sacrifice into the harvest. You know, the infighting continues, but it gets worse today because it just gets so bad for Josh. For Janny Juice, it just gets so bad. Shit just gets really bad for Janny Josh because on top of his $2,000 a month just fucking gone, you know, on top of that, he's now having to face President Trump repealing Section 290, making him liable for everything on Kiwi Farms. He's now like civilly and criminally liable for every single thing that's posted on Kiwi Farms if this goes through. Let's just have a look here. This is Josh's post. The law is incredibly simple. If you run a network or a website and someone uses it to do something bad, you're not liable for it. What Trump is threatening to do to hurt Twitter is to repeal the law. So if someone uses Twitter to do something bad, Twitter is liable for it. He's trying to clarify the law so that deleting tweets and banning accounts is editorialization. Repealing the law in its entirety makes everyone personally civilly liable for anything published on their platform. Notice how that he's threatening to do so. He doesn't actually solve the problem. Oh no. Oh no. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Repealing Section 230 is not just spite Twitter. It emboldens Twitter to censor as hard as possible and jeopardizes my small forum without financial resources. I cannot become an outlaw for the forum. I cannot throw away my American citizenship for the forum. I've done enough already. And with the way Trump supporters are cheering this on, I don't even want to bother. So it's a tough fucking day for Josh. He's just probably totally fucked. The Kiwi Farms might go the way of the dodo, or at least Josh's involvement in it, if Trump's comments go through. It's tough there, ladies and gentlemen. It's tough for Janny Josh. But you know, it gets worse. It gets worse. Ethan Ralph then comes forward with this. This is the Ethan Ralph tweet. Josh says sacrifice Ralph to the corn. Ralph says no. Trump hears this. Trump looking to revoke 230 a few days later. Josh loses his mind. Josh inadvertently getting sacrificed to the corn. And here is Dick Masterson going, LOL, duh. As though he's got mock sympathy for Josh. He's just laughing at Josh. Thinks it's hilarious that Josh is getting fucked. This is Dick Masterson. You know, Josh's paymaster. Who, without Daddy Dax's help, he'll have no source of income whatsoever. He'll be totally fucked. And here Dax is just fully snaked on him. The snake pit in full effect. Snake pit is in total full effect. Where he's just like, aw, that's a real shame, Josh. Just commenting on Ethan's post. Just fucking snaking on you, Josh. The house just fucking divided, you know. And then we see just how bad it really is for Josh. I mean, look at this now. If they repeal Section 230 of the CDA, I will close down everything and disappear into the night. No one will ever hear from me again. I mean, for the people out there who are saying, you know, PPP, like, you should have just destroyed Josh. You should have nailed Josh to the cross yesterday and crucified him. I don't have to. Once again, Josh's own life decisions had consequences, and at this point, he's just going to get fucked. And there's nothing I can do. I told him yesterday to walk away. His own life choices lead him to being fucked. I don't have to do anything. The guy is getting wiped out by either the government or by some crazy motherfucker, and there's just zero I can do that's going to influence that one way or the other. But what is funny is talking to Josh in the way that I talked to him yesterday. causes the other guys to feel that Josh is snaking on them, telling me the bank. That's the take that Ralph took. Josh told me the bank, and then I got the bank deplatformed, trying to blame it on Josh, trying to say it's some gay op by me to close their bank, you know. Because of that, they're now infighting amongst themselves, squabbling, the total fucking cabal collapse. Plus, once again in that debate, Josh contradicted himself many different times, you know, deflected many different times. And he admitted a lot of things and said a lot of things that he shouldn't say. And if you listen through to it, there's just golden nuggets of points where Josh just totally fucks up and reveals insights into the Newproject2 scam and admits things that are fraudulent about the Newproject2 scam and criticizes his master, Dick Masterson, you know, and says that Dick's an idiot for feeding the trolls and all this stuff, which then causes Dax to spiral and put his own gay ops in place against Josh. So people need to look at the bigger picture when they're looking at that interaction. It's not about winning an argument or about a fight with Jenny Josh or about crucifying that guy. His time comes. Regardless of what I do, I'm not going to be the guy to fucking hurt that guy. His own fucking career is over, you know? But I'm anticipating these people's moves ahead of time. Now, I definitely understand that a lot of the audience is disappointed in the performance. I've heard, you know, a lot of people are very disappointed in the performance. Godwinson's disappointed in the performance. Other people are disappointed in the performance. And look, it's similar to when in a UFC match or in a boxing match, people express disappointment about their fighter not performing to their expectations, not getting a brutal knockout or just barely winning on points or a split decision. And some people felt it went another way and some people felt it went a different way and that sort of thing. And I can't change the performance for people who feel disappointed about it, who feel that it wasn't what they wanted me to do. They wanted me to be more aggressive and really nail the guy to the cross and this and that. And so I definitely understand. And so going forward, if we do have any more interactions with anybody, the very next time I interact with anybody, it's going to be in the style of just straight up nailing them to the cross. Because, again, people want to see that. They want to see blood. But I had my own strategic reasons and that I felt were necessary to go at Josh in that interview in the way that I think worked out well. And I think that people got a better, clearer picture of how Newproject2 worked, especially for people who hadn't seen it before and were fresh to it or hadn't paid attention because, again, the story is getting out on Josh's full platform there on the Kiwi Farms archive. More people are hearing about the story. More people then are investigating the story, speculating about the story. And so overall, I think it's a huge success. But think of it where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen. The cabal is totally collapsed. The payments aren't going through. Josh's website, he probably won't be running in a year's time. You know, the Kiwi Farms might very much go down. You know, Ethan Ralph and Josh are fighting to the fucking death in the cornfield to be the one to sacrifice the other guy for Dax. And Dax, at this point, might just walk away with all of their money. He might not bring Newproject2 back, and he may just take everybody's money and just walk out. He may decide to bring it back, but kick Josh off, or kick Ralph off, or kick both of them off, or kick other people off that have caused him issues with payment providers, which would show it's not really like a free speech alternative when he just caves at every turn, you know. Or he might just go with some other shady bank that implicates him even further into deep shit. But this fucking guy is going with some shady Chinatown bank. Why is some shady Chinatown bank going to drop Newproject2? Unless there's some shady shit going on with Newproject2. I mean, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. But these guys are totally fucked. They are completely losing everything. They're snaking on each other in a snake pit in a way that you can't possibly understand. And again, as I said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. These guys are divided amongst themselves, you know? And I wouldn't make that criticism if I felt my house was divided. People think, oh, Godwinson ruined your... You know, like it's... People just don't understand what's going on. Again, that's why they're on the sidelines in the chat and crying and, you know, because they can't make shit happen. And so they're not smart enough to figure things out when they actually happen and what they mean. But again, Godwinson's points today go to show we don't collude together. We don't suck each other's dicks, you know. Again, I don't think that Godwinson is 100% accurate in his assessment of my performance. I think he's very overly critical there about it. And so I don't co-sign it, you know. But there are some things that he does say are valid, and some people are disappointed in the performance. And so next time, it will be just a full-on, like, drunken PPP screaming at a guy, if that's really what people want to see. And I always want to give the people what they want to see, and it's about people being entertained. But at the same time, it's about exposing Newproject2 and getting as much info on Newproject2 and getting as close to the truth about that as we can so that the scam can be exposed. And I think people need to understand that and understand my position, and also understand that I was coming to Josh as well to apologize about the pedophile stuff, which I did. I talked to him for an hour before the show, and we talked about a lot of stuff, and we cleared up a lot of the air between us before we even went on the air. And again, it wasn't supposed to even be a Crucify Josh hour. If people got that impression, that's not what I was going for. Again, as I said in the videos leading up to it, I was trying to present him an opportunity for redemption, which I think ultimately he probably rejected. He deflected. He didn't confess the full truth. I think the truth is still out there. I think he acted disingenuous and was a bad faith actor. You know, he tried to say I was at the end, but I mean, if you listen to me there, I'm totally with it. I'm totally being fair to the guy and being beyond fair with the guy to the point where people think it's too soft. But I certainly was not acting as a bad faith actor or anything like that. So, I mean, that's basically my take on that. And so far as everything that's going on right now, we're just winning more and more and more. Dax is coping and seething more and more and more. These men have turned on each other, and they're snaking on Twitter at each other publicly. It's not behind closed doors. It's just an absolute total collapse of their entire structure, of their entire scam. Newproject2 may never recover. Dax is trapped inside his house. He's trapped inside his prison cell where every day he's getting drunk, he's getting high to try and cope with the fact that his triad criminal enterprise is collapsing. It's just falling apart. And so I think things are going incredibly well. I think it's really, really funny to see these guys turn on each other. And I think everybody is entertained. I think everybody is entertained at this point by what's going on. And more things are happening. More things are happening as this is going on right now. And it's just going to be interesting to watch it unfold. And more things are coming. More things are coming there, ladies and gentlemen. So stay excited. Stay hyped. The truth is out there. You need to watch the skies. And remember the truth. Trust no one. Everybody has their own self-interest, their own agendas. Don't allow yourself to be blinded by any e-celebrity. Don't allow yourself to be blinded by me or Godwinson or Leo Pirate or Dax Herrera or Ethan Ralph or Nick Rekieta. Try and look at things objectively. Try and look at things for what they actually are. And just don't be blinded by it. Don't trust anybody. You know, that's a big takeaway from today for both the Newproject2 people and for everybody in the community. Trust absolutely no one. And fuck these den of vipers. They'll be driven out. They're being driven out from the temple. Newproject2 is finished. And if it's not finished, it's being dealt massive blows that will eventually lead to its death because the users on the site have turned on each other. Masterson himself has turned on the users of the site, and it's soon going to be over. It's all but almost but over, but the crying for this cabal. So